Hello, party people. How are we today? So, I thought we would talk about the energy we bring into a situation and when we respond in anger because of the energy that we are holding on to, be it from you or anybody else. So, when I mean you or anybody else, right? So, say you live in a house and you stay positive, but the other people are always quick to be like, oh my god, nothing goes right for me, nothing, this and this and this. And then you get in an argument with somebody. It doesn't have nothing to do with the argument, but now everything that's been weighing, that's been sitting on your shoulder, that's been sitting on your mind, your immediate response is lashing out in total anger and destroying somebody else and their growth or their character. Now, I've known there a lot of people, we sit there and we say, "Oh, I'm so positive. I'm so this, I'm so that." I think positively. But then in the back of your head, you talking to yourself like, "I ain't no good. I can't do this." But you never say it out loud. So people think because they don't say it out loud that it don't matter. It absolutely matters. Anything you think in your head, you have now started a creation of where you want to be. It's your reality. And people don't believe that their reality is where they live. Regardless of how you feel about a situation, always look for the positive in it. Always look for the excitement. The excitement in it. So in retrospect, right? So you come into a situation and you say to yourself, I always bring the party. I always bring the party. But then at home you're like, man, what the heck am I do? What people gonna think about me? And isn't that what we always do? Like, I don't want to do this because they might think less of me.
Yes. I,
So the question is, do you live your life for the people, or do you live and step into your power?
let me go back and say this because you said something that reminded me of something that happened today.
Okay.
Because ever since we've been doing these episodes, we've been talking about negative energy.
Mhm.
Someone's always been negative, and sometimes you'll even be negative yourself.
Mhm.
So today, as you told me, I lived in a bubble probably all my life.
Mhm.
People say something to me, I'm just like, oh yeah, yeah. It just go right over my head
Yep.
until I have a conversation with you. And I thought about, I said, wow. But today I caught something because for just keep it short, there's a stock that I've been investing in, and it's been going down,
Okay.
way down.
Okay.
And this individual I always talk about the stock market with.
Okay.
He was gone for about a week, and the minute he came back, I said, "What's up?" He said, "Not this stock." And I was like, "Wow, that's the first thing you said," but I didn't think about it at the time.
Yep.
And it's been a week now, and for some reason yesterday I thought about it. I said, "Oh my gosh, he's bringing negativity on me." I mean, if that's the first thing you say, I say, "What's up?" Definitely not this
Not my
stock.
stock.
Yeah, and I was like, "Wow." So I told him about it today. I said, "You know what? I thought about something. You're pretty negative. I know you're always negative."
Mhm.
He doesn't know he's
Yeah,
negative.
it's a natural response.
Yeah, it's a natural response. And I said, "Do you realize if you think negative, negative things are gonna happen?"
Look at you.
I know, right?
Damn, y'all.
Yo, I've been learning a lot, but it really hit me because if I start to think that way, everything just my whole day is going bad.
Yep.
And it happened this morning when the light, I can see it way up there. The stoplight is green. And I'm like, man, should I speed up? This light's probably going to turn red as soon as I get there. Oh my goodness. And I said, no, don't even think that way.
Nope.
Because regardless, if it turns red,
Yep.
I can't do anything about it anyway. So why am I stressing myself out over it? And then you have to blame yourself because guess what? You could have left early.
Yes. Yes, like you could have prepared your day. You
Yes.
know you need to be at work. And it's the thing of controlling you.
Yes.
You can't control nobody else. You can't control the
No,
light. You can't control the traffic. You can't control how somebody responds to anything you do or say.
that's
But
right.
my suggestion when we started this, my thing to everybody: never go into an uh, conversation, discussion from a negative standpoint. And if you sit down to have a conversation with somebody and immediately it starts to go left real quick, take a pause and tell that person that you don't think this is the time that we have
Yes.
this discussion.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to tell y'all, words, that saying sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
Oh, that's a lie.
It's an absolute lie. It is an absolute lie, and it's a fairy tale to say the least, because words do hurt. But the problem is words create.
Hmm.
So you're telling somebody in anger, you ain't never been any good anyway. Automatically now it's like, wait, I ain't never been good. Like now I'm questioning myself because you just yelled at me and told me I ain't never been no good, but you came from a destructive place because you were in destruction.
That's right.
And absolutely, every time we need to take accountability for ourselves and how we respond to something. If you 100% know that you ain't in the right place to have this conversation, don't have that damn conversation. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, people, their automatic response to your negative, if they ain't in the right space, is negative. So
Yes.
now y'all battling back and forth, trying to destroy each other to see who gonna win or who got the biggest comeback.
Yes. And with that, it has a lot to do with pride. But there's one thing that I've learned. Of course, I've learned a lot of things, but the one thing I learned is if you have a problem or something is on your chest, whether it be your friend or your loved one or what have you, you need to talk about that and do not bring it up when they finally bring it up, a
Or
subject.
throw it back, right? So we snap back in, right?
Yes, you're
Okay,
like, well, you did it too. Well,
yes,
how was it?
yes.
You can do it, and I can't do it.
Comeback king.
Yeah, comeback king.
We're not going to do that.
That's
So,
right.
but when you have an issue, my suggestion is before you bring that issue up, find out how you truly feel about it without the anger. Because when you bring it up, if y'all, it has to be in a place where you have decided that I'm okay because I expected, right? What expectations? I expected this person to do it this way, or
Hmm.
it made me upset. Yes, we all have a right to be upset, disappointed, sad, whatever it is, but check yourself because you should not stay in that state of disappointment, sadness, anger for too long because that energy you carry will continue on throughout your day. And a lot of people have no idea about the energy, no idea about what's going on. Because when we met, you're like, oh, that person's so great. No, they ain't. No, they ain't. And I'm going to tell y'all, do not pretend to like someone or share your space with someone if you already know. Okay, if you already know that they're negative,
Yes,
because
but
all you're doing is destroying yourself by trying to share space with a negative person.
that's right. And we've said this before about judge a tree by the fruit it bears, not the truth, not the fruit that it talks about, because I've been there. I think we've all been there where we know deep down inside of our in our heart that is probably not a good person. There's things that they do that you probably see like, well, I can get over that, or
Yeah.
they'll change, or it's my brother, or it's my sister, it's my mom, it's people that are so close to you and you love them, and you're like, but y'all don't understand, it's my mom. I'm going to continue to do this thing. You're like, but what is it doing to you?
Yes.
And should it be where you're the one that's always, how do you say it, giving in?
Yes. Yes.
And and it shouldn't be like that, because if your parent, or who, it doesn't have to be a parent, it could be one of your loved ones, if
Yeah.
they truly love you, they wouldn't want to bring this negativity on you. They
But see, a lot of people don't know they're in a negative place.
You're right, they
Think
don't.
they're normal, right? Their response to you is like, I'm not being negative. I'm being real. That's
Yes.
the comeback for us, right? I'm just being real with you. Okay, there's a difference of being real and bringing that negative energy behind it and being real and honest. Because if you're always judging people and telling them about themselves, what are you seeing in them that you're lacking in from yourself?
Hmm.
Because I could be like, oh, you'll never complete nothing. And then you have to ask yourself, have you taken on that never completion on yourself? Because now you're automatically judging somebody for how they handle their situation.
That's right. There's a motivational speaker I was listening to. He was saying that if you don't brush your teeth for 3 days, 3 days, you're probably not even going to know you have bad breath. But yet you're so quick to judge everyone else. So it's so hard to see yourself and judge yourself because of that.
I don't get that analogy. Don't brush your teeth.
Well, because they say what he was saying is that you need to judge yourself more
Yes,
often. You need to look at yourself.
yes,
Um, and a lot of people don't. They're so quick to, well, you did it.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
that person over there did it. Hold on. Let's talk about what you did.
yes,
Start putting the blame on yourself because plus you need to get to know yourself. You need to know who you are as a person
yes.
and say, what do I want to do in my life? And do I want to be a good person? And do I always want to be negative? And a lot of times it has to do with jealousy and envy because they have something. But if you just be positive and say, hey, you're doing a good job and encourage somebody, it's going to come back to you. And I think a lot
Well,
of,
but people, that's the problem. We are not taught that. Not everybody is taught that from a young age. So they continue to take this heritage pattern that they've learned from their parents, right? Because we're not taught that. School ain't teaching it. So we go in and we say, I I don't like how you're responding to me, right? But then they're like, what do you mean? Like you we are like just I don't know what this guy's name is. He said you are only responsible for what you feel. You can feel happy or sad based on what you choose. Yes,
that's right.
everything is a choice. You could wake up in the morning and say, you know what, I'm gonna have an amazing day regardless of what's happened, regardless if I get stuck at the light, if I get stuck at the gate, if I get stuck in traffic.
Which,
You get to choose, right? So
and that right there,
you choose to leave early, or
yes.
you choose to just listen
Yeah.
to some motivational music in your car while you sit
Hey,
at the gate and wait, or sit the light. Like,
that's it because I stopped going through the gate at post. I stopped saying, man, if I was in charge of this post, I would change this. I would fix these guards. I can't believe you got 2 lanes that turns into 4 lanes, and then everybody is cutting over, and it's just a hot mess. And I was like, well, I have left at 5 o'clock. I get to the gate at 5:30, and there's no one there. Well,
yes,
guess what? Then that's what I'm gonna do. Plus, I get to get home early. But I want to go back to communication piece because
yeah,
I think that's a big it's a big problem, the lack of communication, because people read their text messages and take it a completely different way
oh
than
yes.
someone telling you that exact same thing.
I
And
mean,
I
you
know that,
preach on it, right? Preach it.
yeah, yeah. Well, I've learned because I learned the hard way. And I learned that from somebody that I truly love. And I didn't understand because I guess I adapted to new technology and text messages to where you get away from talking in person and communicating with them. And it's like, oh, I know they didn't just say, look at this in. Where you been? You need to be at home right now. And it could be just like, hey, where you been?
Yeah.
Like, but we take it though out of the context and like just, and then when you see them, like, who do you think you're talking to? It's like, well, what are you talking about?
Me personally, I've learned not to respond.
Well, that's a technique. Oh, yeah, that's true.
Because
And
you
you
respond.
don't continue. You don't.
Once you respond, now you're look because people are so quick to respond, and then when you respond, oh yeah, snap back like who the hell you talking to,
Yes.
sir? Like what's instead of saying what's wrong with you? Hold on, why are you talking to me like that? It's a continuous
Yeah.
cycle because nobody ever stops it.
That's right. And it could be out of love, like, hey, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, no, what's wrong?
Not, hey, what's wrong with you? Yeah, it's whoa, you come back like, whoa,
Hey,
that's
that's
not
not
what
what I
we
said.
yeah.
But that's
But
the
that's what
problem.
this
Nobody
says here. But
pick up. Hello. Yeah.
yes.
But like I told you, the time it take you to text, it'd be quicker to just be like, hey, this is what I'm doing, right?
Well, that's normally I picked on only because I was texting and you called me. I was like, oh, she's calling me. Okay. And the thing is that a lot of people they will they will say some things in the text that they would never say in front of
Like,
a person.
yeah. Just like when you drink alcohol, you have that courage, right? That text courage, because
That liquid courage,
that's
boy, I
that
tell
text
you.
courage. Like, I don't. You look what I just said to him. You see what I just said to him. This is what he said to me, and that's what I said to him. I
Yes.
mean, it's still negative energy, regardless of how you twist or turn it, right? Because the place you come from, if some like I told you this my year, my month, my word is expectations, because you always have to check how you take something about how people say it, what people do, because we expect people to do things our way. I
Yeah.
expect you to come home, do this, do this, do this, but that's me. That's what I would do.
What, can you explain something to me? Because I'm ex, expectations.
Mhm.
Because I see it go up.
It's a lot of things.
It is, but there could be an expectation that one may hold on the other,
Mhm.
but the other person doesn't do that. But then when they do something different, it's like, wait a second, why are you doing it this way?
It's still an expectation, right?
Yes,
So
it's still
people look at it saying, like, the people quick to say, you trying to change me. And it's not about trying to change you. It's about that I expect you to do what I would do for you. Right. So if I would get you something, I would expect you would do, if you see me struggling, you would do the same thing. But in
it's
reality,
like,
it's
go
an
ahead.
expectation, right? So if I walk past a thing on the floor, right? I saw this thing on the floor, and I mean, I guess that's really not a good definition, but
Well,
I'm gonna
it could be,
roll with it, right? So I see a piece of paper on the floor, but I seen you walk past it first.
but I didn't see it.
But my expectation was, right? My thoughts, you saw that damn paper and you just kept walking like you ain't care about it. But I expect you to be like I am and be mindful of the surroundings. Be mindful,
Yes.
right? So, and I don't know if I learned it from the military or I learned it just life, right? Or how I am. I
Mhm.
see something like when I'm walking, I don't just look straight ahead like my blinders, right? I see my vision is all over the place. But other people, you'd be like, I didn't see that on the floor. Like, huh? My response is back in the day, not now. This my me now be like, you know what? I see it. I'm gonna just pick it up. I'm not gonna even bring it up. I'm not even thinking. You ain't like my old response, be like, you didn't see that piece of paper on the floor. But your response to me makes me come back again, right? If
Yes,
I seen it,
and
I would
it
have picked it up.
elevates to a level
So
to
then,
where it's like,
yes,
but at some point, in relationships or not just relationships in general, you got to be able to understand that they may not see it. And
and
there's a book, I can't remember what it was called. I read several years ago, and it was talking about a car in front of you swerves. And here you are, like, what are you doing? You're so this and that, and what have you.
yep.
But you don't know what happened in that car. Maybe he has a baby in the back and something's going on. And you're, why are you?
I mean, you preaching to the choir. I mean, preaching, boo. You preaching because
Yeah,
that
well, because it took me a while to understand this because I, it's so, you're so quick to pass judgment.
judgment.
And
Yeah,
it's just, in the long run, it doesn't do anything for you. It just creates that negative energy. It makes your whole day, you end up taking it to work and you're yelling at everyone at work, or you're treating people with just a lack of respect. And you see it. And a lot of people say, well, why are you bringing that to work? If you got something going on at home, keep it at home.
yes,
Don't bring it to work. And what people do, they go to work and they act a certain way. Something happens at work, and then they go home and take it out on their family.
you're just mad.
Yeah, they're mad. They just want to vent. And they're like, honey, calm down. You're like, no, because of this person, that person. Well, okay, let's talk about what you can change. What can you fix? And that's the hardest thing. Is like, well, I didn't think about that. You want to point the finger at everybody else when you
Look
should be pointing back at you, say, hey, what can I change? And if
how
you don't like it that much,
yes.
if you're tired of it, quit. Go find another job.
Yep. I
That's
mean,
my thing.
in relationships, sometimes we just, I mean, we can quit, right?
Yeah.
It needs to be, everybody needs, it's hard to say take accountability for yourself and your response and your actions, right? Because how you grow up, a lot of the things affect you. It takes work to change those habits that you're used to, those people that you will let attach to you. So you could have been in a relationship years ago, and that trigger, and I always call it that scab, you know, they pick that scab off because that scab wasn't fully healed. And somebody done scraped that scab off, and now you're like, why'd you do that to me? That's what so and so used to do to me. And now you're mad, right? But like, it's hard to address your own problems if you're not aware of your own problems, right?
Yes. That's
So
spot on.
it's, you have to start looking at how people respond to some of the things you say in order for you to have a different response. And when you choose to be accountable for yourself and the energy you bring to a situation, I suggest that everybody take, like, listen, everybody needs to have a master's in breathing, because breathing is the most beneficial thing to you that can help you through your whole entire situation. Take a breath. And I even do it with the kids. Stop. Just breathe. Let's breathe for a second, because you're talking on, and it's just coming all over the place. You're just like, wait, calm down. Because I don't like the word calm down. I don't, and that's a trigger word for me. Don't tell me to calm down. Take a breath. Like, let's breathe, and let's figure out how we can address this, if we're going to address it now or we're going to address it later. But you have to be willing to look at you first before you sit there and judge somebody else for how they reacted to what you said, to the situation. Because in reality, we all want to say, oh, we're so perfect. Let me just tell y'all, perfection does not exist. It's not a real thing. Perfection to me is not perfection to somebody else. And what I think and I feel like I need for me is what I will tell you, right? So if I don't like something and I tell you I don't like it, I shouldn't be judged because I don't like that situation or I don't like that thing. I should be in a relationship, right? Because in any situation, if you say I don't like that person, somebody's comeback is always like, why? They're such a great person. I'm telling you, I don't like that person. Now you're gonna make me explain that the negative energy that they're putting out, you know, and it's, at this point, I'm gonna tell you, you're negative. I don't like it. There's something I feel about you, and I'm gonna tell you now, never deny that intuition. It is a God-given gift that you are needing to know, because there's something about that person that is off, and it ain't about being nasty to them. It's just choosing who you want in your space. And the me now, oh, I ain't got time. There is so much energy, that negative energy, that I am not going to waste on you trying to explain to you that your negativity isn't going to benefit me. Because in reality, we spend so much time trying to get people to like us or agree with an idea we have. And what do we go back to? We crush our own dreams because you're trying to make somebody else believe in you more than you believe in yourself.
That's right. That's right.
So take accountability for the people around you. And I'm talking about from the top to the bottom, family, friends, the relationship you're in. If it's constantly negativity all times, stop. Stop. Like, there's no need to be in a negative relationship. You trying to hold on to this negative relationship for what? Because y'all about to do something big? What y'all really doing? Because it apparently is nothing if y'all always fighting.
That's right. And
To
you have to be, and you really have to be true to yourself. And people will try to change to fit that person's
yes.
what, profile or
thoughts, everything, right?
thoughts, yeah,
Because
everything's like I'm trying so hard to please him or
yes,
her. They end up changing
you
because they
lose.
don't want to lose this person.
Yes, but you lose yourself. So
Yes, you
ask
lose
yourself, are you
yourself.
willing to lose you for this fool?
Yes, and you need to figure that early on in your relationship because we that's the part where people try the hardest to please someone is in your initial relationship.
Yeah.
Because but you have to ask yourself, am I gonna be? Can I continue to carry myself like this
Yes.
throughout the rest of my life?
Am I being true to me?
Yeah, am I being true
Try
to
to
me?
be. Oh,
Now we probably get some calls after this talking about, hey, I need to hear a little bit more about that
I mean,
because I'm in a relationship right now, and you're like,
it's truth. People are
it
trying
is.
to fight for something that, let me tell you something. Ain't no damn reason you should be fighting for no relationship. There are no fights. There's no fights. There is nothing that ties you to somebody that will stop you from being great, right? Because you're saying you're trying to be with this loser, and if y'all a loser and you get mad, then that's what you need to hear. But if you're trying to fight to be with this loser, and all you keep getting is people around you are like, you need to leave that person, you know, they ain't good for you. And you're like, but he loves me, but she loves me. She's the only person that loves me. I mean, really? Really though? That's the only person that loves you. And I understand people gonna say it's harder, it's easier said than done, it's hard to leave. We have all this stuff tied into this. Uh, we built some dig ditches, right? We can't climb ourselves out of it, but that ditch ain't the end. It's not the end. It's
Right.
where you choose to be. We have a choice, and you continue to choose the negative, you're gonna always get negative anytime.
And with that, if the love was there when you met and everything was good, you're both being real with each other. Sometimes, yes, you do grow apart, but there's also times where you have to realize maybe there's a communication failure now.
Yes.
Maybe there's something else going on. Maybe there's problems at work or with other friends that have outside influences going on. So don't just think that, if, especially when you're listening to your friends, oh man, let's go out, let's do this, let's hang out with these people. Oh man, you change. No, it's the fact that you have priorities in life now. You have people that will depend on you. Don't think that the same Reggie is always going to be there. Times change, and
Okay.
people change. So, and then you have to look at it like, yeah, we were good friends, but now you're coming in the way with my relationship, which is the right thing to do. But people, it's hard for people to let go of the good times that we had. And we've had that same situation. Like, oh man, you changed, man. You don't even want to hang out with me anymore. Well, I fell in love, and this girl is, I really want to
She
spend the rest of my
changed
life with her.
you.
Yeah,
She trying to
right.
corrupt you.
Yeah, she changed you. It's like, no, it's just that me and you, bro, we can't. We
Ask yourself, can you get? I mean, we all want to talk about how the past is the past, guys.
That's
Like
right.
we cannot continue to live in this party life and create expectation from somebody else, right? Because you expect somebody, I'm not going to call no names, right? Because people expect you to always be that partier drinker, carrying on, blah blah blah. But the minute you have, Q said, you grow and have new responsibilities, it's true.
That's right.
But here's the deal: people who try to stop your growth, they have to look at themselves and ask themselves, why is that affecting them in a negative way? Because we always want people to grow and be better. But the minute you feel a little animosity, some anger against that person for growing and being better, is the minute you have to ask yourself, why are you coming from that space? Why are you allowing yourself to continue to be pulled down by negativity? If you have dreams, write them down and achieve them. If you put as much energy into your own dreams as you do talking about Tom, Dick, and Harry, you would be surprised where you were at.
That's right.
But you want to stay in that negative space, you will always have negativity come to you, and you always hear, I can't never get that. I don't know how they always getting this stuff. What you over there doing? You somebody helping you? But that's the thought process everybody else has. Somebody always has to give you what you have. You couldn't work hard for it, or you couldn't work for it.
Yes, and I will say this real quick. Here recently, I had a conversation with someone who has a goal.
Okay.
And I said, well, what is this goal? And they told me.
Okay.
But they came back and said, well, it's too much money. Or it was all these these obstacles.
Excuses?
Excuse me?
Excuses.
Yeah, it was like excuses. I'm like, stop thinking about all of these obstacles. Something about all these obstacles. Like keep your eye on the goal. If you have a vision of you want to be this in 5 years, everything in the middle is gonna be taken care of.
It ain't for you to take care of.
Yeah, it's not.
Where you need to go.
Exactly. Keep your eye on the goal, and trust me, you will get there. And I may have said it in a way that they probably didn't want to hear, but I at some point you just got to get tired of it. It says, listen, stop making excuses. Stop. If you want to do it that bad, keep your eye on the goal. Trust me, if people will see you working hard, they will try to help you along the way.
Everything
but if you continue to give up,
yes,
and think it's too hard, you're never gonna get there. Next thing you know, you're gonna be an old person in your on your deathbed, wondering like, "Oh man, I want to
shoulda, woulda, right?
Life, yeah, coulda, shoulda, woulda." Well, guess what? You have that chance now. And when you listen to these, I know I'm on my soapbox, but when you listen to these people who they are successful to us common folks, I guess,
yeah,
they will tell you, "Oh, just continue to push forward, keep your dream alive. You'll get there." All stuff. Obviously, they're saying it for a reason because they know they're there. Even for us, looking down on people like, "Wait, you can do it, this and that." Dude, we are here. There's certain levels I call success now, and once you get to the top, there's people to tell you you can get there too. So just stay positive and stay focused, and you'll get there. Trust me on that.
Yeah. But that's the problem. People are so easily discouraged because of the lessons that they've learned growing up. People are not shown. Kids are not. Everybody who has children. You need to start uplifting your children. Just because your damn dreams didn't go anywhere doesn't mean you can't you got to keep telling your children they can't have anything better than the damn hood. You can't have nothing better than what's in front of you. Stop telling your children that they cannot be great because your ass wasn't great. Just because you chose to stay in that little circle of life or whatever you thought you were in, it's not a healthy place to be. And even now, if you have not accomplished your dreams, you can choose today to look at things differently. Just because you're not in a place you want to be, you can choose right now to say, this is what I want, and I'm going to do everything in my power to get what I want. And I'm going to stay focused on my goal, because when you collaborate with God and you tell him the things you want, write it down and believe that that thing is going to come true. But stop looking for it in your way. Stop looking for it in your time. When you're ready, every single person will show up that you need to help get you to that next level. But if you're continuously tearing everybody else down, and hey, some people do get success by tearing somebody else down. But trust and believe that success doesn't last long, because they didn't get there in a genuine way. They didn't come from a place of helping others. They're coming from a place of greed and selfishness. And if you continue to come from a place of greed and selfishness, you ain't gonna get nothing more than exactly what you got. So, but I am not gonna keep. Alex said I'm going in today, and it just kills me because people always want to make an excuse for why they're where they're at. And then when you ask them, well, what have you done to get out of that place that you're at? It's always another excuse. Like, be tired of the excuses and start making changes in your life. And it starts with being grateful for what you have. If you got a roof over your head, clothes on your back, and you damn on your phone, you got what you need to do what you got to do, right? Because you're gonna say, "Well, I ain't making $1 million." Okay, what would you like to do to make this million? Sit on your damn phone and do nothing?
And with that, and when you're complaining about, oh, I got so much on my plate, and guess what? If you got so much on your plate, that's all God is going to give you. He's like, okay,
Because you can't handle it.
you can't handle it anymore, so I'm gonna let you stay right
I'm
where
going
you at.
to always give it to him
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he
Next.
need it more than you.
Yeah, exactly.
So just be mindful. Be mindful of the space you're in, the energy you're bringing, and the negativity that you're putting out to yourself because you're talking to yourself negative. Because we can all say, "Oh, hey, yeah, girl, you're doing great." Oh my God, what was I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. I cannot. There we go. Negativity. It just built more negative because what I say to you don't matter. What I think to myself is what creates more chaos in your life than anything you could say out your mouth. Just be mindful of your thoughts and your words because everything creates everything. So we'll be back next week to chat about some more. And I appreciate everybody that tuned in today. Have an amazing day.